physics tab.
Yeah, just a sec. I gotta check. I gotta find where the physics, Newtonian, where's the particle? Yeah, so it's rock scales one. I mean, well, rock scales, not rock scales.
Okay, that was weird. Okay, test, test, test. Okay, I think part of what we said got cut out. I don't know how far back what I said got cut out, but I'll just kind of go over it briefly. Gonna jump out of the Discord call. I think it was a little too overwhelming. We don't have a lot of time today. We're only gonna have like an hour, so try to do something with that within that hour. I'm gonna play music, but I won't stream it because last stream it got blocked. So let's see. This is good. This is good. Okay, that one's good. So last time, yesterday, I'm gonna go over this again. Hopefully, I'm not repeating myself too much, but I think the audio wasn't streaming. So, but I'm gonna. Yesterday, what we did, where we left off, was this character. We basically rigged the high poly, but it's too heavy because all the modifiers. That's my guess right now. So we could do a test. We'll save. Actually, no, it's not save. Um, we could do the other approach. I tried a little bit earlier to mess with multi-res, and my goal was to make it so the multi-res, after you apply it, you lose kind of like the zero base level shape. It gets deformed. And I tried a few things. I tried using shape keys transfers. I tried data transfer. I tried the reshape button in the multi-res, those three things, but none of them seemed to really work. The shape keys allowed me to copy the shape one to one in these level 0 of the multi-res, but the problem was it would deform every other level. So technically that worked, but it also destroyed every other level, so that didn't work. It was like almost the inverse of what applied multi-res is. So when you apply the multi-res and then unsubdivide, it was like the exact opposite of that. So every level is good, but the level 0, and then like transferring a shape key made level 0 work, but then every other level got bloated or had something weird with it. So it was like the opposite of that. That's really confusing, but it was just me saying it out loud, and maybe later we'll go over it again. But that didn't work, so nothing really worked. Um, and right now this high poly is too heavy to animate, so we could do it again. So if I move it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 seconds of delay lag just to move this high poly, and that's like totally unworkable. It's still loading. See, like right there. That's like 10 seconds of lag just to do that. That's like totally unbearable. So we can't do that. So what I was thinking is we already saved this out so we could kind of break the connections or whatever. We can make a copy of this. I could do that. So just a sec. Let me double check what's in here. So everything here that's highlighted should be over here. Oh my god, what happened? Oh, that's not what I wanted. Whoa, that's trippy. Why is everything like extended like that? That's interesting. That's not good. Can we collapse all? That's bad. Let's see if we could tell it to collapse all. Okay, it says for outline or numpad, high level on control, click. I could select all and then control maybe. So it says select all, control click. Didn't work. Simply click. Wait, let me see what it says. So sim it will expand, collapse everything under it. So simply click on that expand arrow with the shift key. That was not too bad. Shift key kind of does it. Oh, never mind. You could just click them. Why is it showing all this? Okay. Yeah, so shift key closes everything inside it. I'm doing it by hand right now, which I kind of didn't want to do. Let me see. What if we do this? What if I do this? No, it doesn't. It only does the when I click. Home expands everything. Let's see if I double tap home. Oh my god, what did I do? Oh, that worked. Oh, I was scared. Everything disappeared for a sec, but it did it. So if you press home, it makes everything collapsed. Let's press home again. I just want to see what happens. Nothing happened. That's kind of scary though. Let's see. So like, let's say everything's open and messy. Oh no, it's so messy. Press home. Oh, that's really cool. I'm gonna write a note in the chat so that way I can like remember later. There you go. Nice note there. Kinda. Okay, so cool. That was a really cool lesson or a little note. We still have an hour and 20 minutes, I think. So we kind of lied about the hour. We have like up to it's 12, so we have an hour and a half. So 1:30 roughly. So we have an hour and a half. What's this song? I like this song. Chamber of Reflection. Um, so we gotta get out of pose mode, and I want I want to merge all these together. Before that, like if you look through here, go to modifiers, you can see this has a rig. We're not gonna use this rig, but it has this subdiv, for example, we want to keep. So what I'm gonna do is let's go through here, make sure they're all selected. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is make a copy of this, duplicate collection. Ooh, that's so slow. Okay. I made a copy of everything, so just really quickly double check. I want to see. Like for example, if I click the hair, it's here, has the armature and subdivision. We don't want the armature, but it's okay for now. Actually, you know what? That might be a problem though. Let's break the armature off. I think what we do is select everything, and then we go Alt P, clear parent, clear and keep transforms, I think. Let's see. Oh, that just removes it from here, I think. Because if I undo, yeah, it removes it from here. Okay, I understand that now. So that I still need to do that. So it removes it from down here. But the thing is, they still have the armature. I don't want to. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do visual geometry to mesh, and I'll destroy everything there, so it's okay. Actually, no, we don't want to do that because. Okay. Uh. See if there's anything on Google here. Over clear parent. I don't think that's right. No, that wasn't right. Good. There's a YouTube video here. Let's see what it says. It's probably going to tell me just to take it off from the modifier list, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, they're just applying it on, or they're just removing it one at a time. But I have so many pieces, so it's like not. Sometimes, like, if I just do this, it's faster just to do it. What's disappearing here? Oh, wait, did I delete the wrong one? Oh my god. I think I deleted the wrong one on these. Let's see if there's anything here. I know this would destroy everything, but I don't want that. Um, let's start over real quick. Lead hierarchy. What's unlink do? Oh, it just disappeared. Okay, that's weird. I don't know what that did. All right, I'm gonna delete this. Delete hierarchy. And then bring back this one for a sec. And I'll make a copy. And then I'm gonna hide the original. Then quickly, we'll just go through here and apply all the armatures. Okay, so some of them, the modifier icon disappears because there's nothing on there, but the armature, but some of these have like certain things like the mirror. Should I get rid of the mirror? trying to think if I should keep the mirror. Let's not think too deeply. Let's just keep it, and then the other one won't have it anymore. So we're good. So let's go through here. Just make sure. I'm just doing Control A. Hover over Control A, and I'm applying them. It's essentially deleting them. Afterwards, yeah, like, well, I mean, I think it's important to spend like that initial 30 minutes to explore and to test things, even though it doesn't work. Because later, if there is like it's like a gamble, or sometimes it does work, so you end up learning something and finding like a faster way to do things. But at the same time, if it's a gamble, so if it doesn't pan out, then you just wasted like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. But what was this? Data transfer. What was I doing here? It doesn't matter. Let's just delete that. I was doing something yesterday with that, but I don't think it worked. Okay, so this set is officially with no armature. And then I also want to clear parent on it, so it's not going to show up on the bottom part where it says rigged. So clear. So now it's not down here. So the only thing that's rigged or parented and rigged is the first one. But we're going to change that too. So this one's all cleaned out, essentially. It still has vertex groups on it, but it's not that important, honestly. Yeah. So I'm going to tuck this one away and back up. I'm gonna hit the save button. Let's see how big the file size gets. It should be like pretty big. Let's see. It says it's at 1.5 gigs. Still below 2. So, but we're gonna have to get rid of some stuff here, so let's hide this for a sec. Let's see what these are. So this is 1 mil. It was a backup, but we technically have a backup here now, so I don't need it. So delete that. This is a backup of the head. I don't think we need it, honestly, so let's delete this one too. Save, see what these are. These are the backup of the pants with multi-res on it. So if you look at that, yeah, multi-res. But again, everything's in the character folder, so I'm gonna delete this too. Okay, so now I hit save again. And we'll see what the file size is. It'll probably be like 700. Oh, it's at a gig. That's not bad, honestly. So let me see. I'm just gonna scan through to see if I can make it even better. I think once I merge these and don't have the groups on them, they actually might get bigger, but we'll see. Where am I looking? It's confusing. So this is a backup. This is workbench. Rig stuff, proxy. I kind of feel like this doesn't make sense in here, but we'll change it later. So I'll bring back the character we're going to work on. And this is where we actually apply it, and we're going to try to make this one not have modifiers on it. So essentially, we're going to select everything, and I'm going to say visual geometry to mesh. So this destroys all the modifiers. It's still parented here, but if you look, there's no more modifiers on anything. So the head doesn't have a modifier. The hair doesn't have a modifier. Wait, what? Why is it like that? Oh no, that's right. Never mind. That's okay. I was like, why is it? Yeah, that's right. So there's no more subdivision modifier. I'm hoping later I could do a multi-res on it and then go back in the density, but we'll see. I'll have to experiment with that. And then now we're free to like merge it down. I'm trying to think what makes sense though. So we lose the separation of the parts when I do this. I could apply materials on this if I wanted, like material A, B, C, and I can separate it by material later. Um, but I can't think of where I would want to do that right now. Maybe it doesn't matter right now. Let's not worry about it. We have the option later though. So grab everything, and then we'll go merge. It's 1.5 triangles. There's no modifiers. And I'll call this one character. And it's only one thing now, which is cool. And then now, what I'll do is, let me think here. I'll apply a, well, actually no, put the weights first. So I'm going to clear the weights for now. And then I'm going to I'm going to copy the proxy weights over. Let me think, how do I do this? Okay, so click on proxy, then character, and then weight paint, transfer weights, and then change the settings, nearest space interpolated, by name, and then let's try like 0.1 this time, just to change it up and see if we get better results. I don't know exactly what the perfect radar distance is for here, so, and I'll leave everything else alone. Go back to object mode. Let's hide the proxy for a sec. The character should have the weights now, and then we go to the modifier tab for it. Add an armature, and we're going to add the rig. So now we got the rig and the weights on there, and we can test it. Why is it so laggy? That's not good. Okay, so viewport's not laggy, but clicking things is kind of laggy, which is scary. We'll see. So pose mode. So it's more responsive. It's like half a second delay, so we could technically repose with this already, but it's still laggy. So it's actually workable now. So I think the modifiers were really slowing down. The downside of this approach is we lost like density control. So like before we had hair as the subdivs, so now it's like literal geometry. So we can't get like clean mathematical smoothing where we're only moving like 3 points. Now we're moving like 12 points. Um, Same for the head where it has multi-res. Same for the pants. And it's all one, so we have to separate it after. But um, we can also test out. We could save this real quick. But I can also test out to say, I'm kind of curious. Let's see what the file size is as well. Oh, it went lower actually. So after merging them all together, it, it went down. Oh no, it went up. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong file. So it went up to 1.3, so it went back up. 1.3 gigs. Um, Trying to think. So we did this. So we can actually separate them now. Yeah, that we could test that if you wanted to. Go in there and separate parts and see if that adds extra lag. I would think maybe not. I'm not sure, but let's not do that right now. We'll just do it when we need to. But potentially we could test that for lag. The other thing is, so the other main thing was we would hide the high poly and only work the proxy, and we could test to see. So this is the main thing. If it worked. Oh, okay, so there you go. Now it's like 100% no problem. Like we could pose this, and then go back to the character, and then it's posed. So this is like a completely workable thing now. Um, I think I kind of feel like the leg should have been separate because the leg had so much trouble when I bent it. Still have like an hour. I'm trying to think, what should I do here? Let's reset the rig and let's hide the high poly. Why is the proxy in here though? I don't understand that. Yeah, the proxy's literally in here. Don't understand why. Let's make things a little cleaner. Let's put this into rig so these are together. The proxy, I guess it's okay. It's like right above here so I can like hide and show that. Oh no, it's here. Oh, they were separate. Oh, okay. Oh, that confused me. So they were separate. Never mind. So they're here. Proxies here, characters here, rigs here. So now it's all clean. They were like right next to each other, so I got confused. So what should I do? I could start posing here. And then I feel like this is officially the cleaned up pose, so I could save this. I should probably rename this too, like as the base state. Maybe it's overkill though. I can call it pose A pose. No, that seems confusing. Should call it something though. It's called pose 1 right now. I can change the name, I think. I'm gonna call it A pose. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And we'll save this as A pose. Save as A pose. And then we'll save this again as pose 1. Kind of don't like it because we're basically saving out a gig, which is like, that's so much memory. But just for the sake of like keeping safe backups, we cleaned this up too, so it's not too bad. Okay, so I need to get better reference, and it'll be interesting to see how the legs deform, because the legs will break really badly, especially if I do something weird. Let me see. So I'm going to spend some time like looking at my reference folder. Where is it? Okay. I have to use the bathroom, but I don't know. This is pretty cool. I like this one. Yeah. Well, yeah. We could try it. I feel bad like going AFK for a while, but I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be back. Okay, we're back. So let me look at the reference. So they're kind of sitting on their knees. I kind of really want like a sitting position. Um, I feel like it's more stable to print. My reference it's only from one side though, so technically I could just do the same thing on the other side, but then the front and back aren't really clear. So we don't really know what's happening on the inside. Try to look at the references again. Maybe there is something where it's not the same thing. It's not the same pose, but we could do it from, we can use information from them. So what was I doing here? No. This could help actually, yeah. Oh yeah, this would help actually. The thing is, I don't want to grab too many of these references because they're very big images. So I have to be kind of selective. I have a reference from the front now, but I need one from the back. It's gonna make the PureF really big because I essentially grabbed like 13 of these. And they're really, really big. Okay, I'll save. We'll just go with this one. I think one of the ideas was to experiment with like multiple poses and like kind of learn from each one, but I just want to get this one done really. So maybe, okay, so let's go in here. The knees will be really hard, I think. So we'll have to figure out what to do there. But it'll be interesting. We'll learn from the whole experience. So what do I want to do? So I think first thing we need to do, like last time, was to create a ground plane. Do we have a ground plane here? Floor. We do. So we'll just use that. We already have one. So we're using proxy right now, which is good. Let's see what's selectable, not selectable. That's fine. Tuck that away again. Cool. So the knees will be really weird and hard to do. Back to pose. That looks so scary. Let's make these. Where is this? It's under item. And I'm going to make this go to FK, this to FK, the hands as well to FK. The hands actually, well, yeah, I'll just do FK, so whatever. I have more control that way. And so now if I bring this back down, it won't do that again. Let's go to frame 0, make sure, start there. So now if we bring this down, that doesn't happen. What's this? Why is this happening? This is called, oh, right hand IK. Oh, it's pointing up here. I see. Okay. This is a leg IK. Okay, I see. We're good. Do we have the knee control and the leg control? It could be this. No, this isn't it. The calf. We added a calf bone. Could be this. I don't see it going away though. If you look on this thing. Ooh, that's weird. Oh, that's the IK. Where's the leg that we did though? I don't see it. Ah, it's okay. It probably doesn't matter. I honestly think I should probably fix it though. Let's see what happens when I raise the leg. Let me hide that. Yeah, I think we need to fix it. Where's that other leg? Or wait. It's fine. Oh, it's actually here somewhere. It's probably this. Yeah, it's the calf. Oh, so it's always been here. I just didn't see it. It was this bone. Hmm. Wait, calf? Wait, why are these both called calf? That's confusing. That's really confusing. Um, I think it's here though, so we're okay. Let's just ignore that for now. Let's just make this one have the translation on it. I'll bend the leg. Let's do orbit around selection on my navigation. The knees are gonna get destroyed. We can't. Am I crashing? Oh, that scared me. Let's see. So the idea behind the calf muscle is I could do this and fix that. It actually kind of worked. It destroyed this area though. So maybe we just like tweak it after the fact. See where I can grab. Hmm. Let's try resetting it. See what happens. So this is what it would look like if I didn't move it. I think last time what we did was we chopped the leg into two, and that gave us more control. Should we do that before doing this, or Trying to think of the pros and cons. We could separate the body. We could add a multi-res and go lower. Or I could do it before this. And then I could paint the weight so that the legs are completely separate and already covered. I think I want to try that. Like I keep mentioning it, so I think I want to try that. Um, do we do it to this combined one? I think we do. So let me try that. So because the legs are just gonna get destroyed. Um, looking at this area. Did we do the whole leg? The butt's already separate. So if you switch back here, the butt's already separate. Oh, the legs. Wait, is the leg separate? No, it's not. Um, the butt's separate. Hmm. If this was like a cylinder, then I could push and pull it cleanly. If I think, for example, maybe not separating here is good because, like, for example, if this is a cylinder, it would carve in like this, and then this would carve in like that. So then there'd be this gap that wasn't naturally flowing. What happens here though? Does this get crushed? Huh. We could isolate it and then recover it piece by piece because it's all separated, which is cool. Like vert by vert. I could see that working. So we would like, for example, apply this pose, separate this piece, apply a multi-res, but then unsubdivide so we go back. We could move the verts. The trickiest part is like deciding where to cut things. Let's say we go, let's say we go through here, we modify the original mesh so this is separate. So now we have full control. We could raise this up, sculpt it, smooth it. And once we're happy, like let's say we're happy with the upper knee, happy with the lower knee, and then we merge it. How do we merge though? So if we merged, we would remesh. Does remeshing destroy everything? It does. Can we do a multi-res after remeshing? It does destroy it though. I could test it. So I could save this. Wait, what's that? Apply post as rest post. Oh, That's kind of cool. Apply visual, transform to pose. Huh. Hit that by mistake. But, should I make a new scene for this test? I'm getting a little lost here in all the inception of thoughts here. Um, oh yeah, I wanted to see. So, let me. I can do it here. Let's go back to object mode and then create a cube. So make two cubes. So this first cube, we'll give it a multi-res. Give it like a couple levels. Let's give it 4 levels. So the question was, remeshing. So if I was to apply this, so this is essentially what the model is, the body is high res, and then we remesh it. So go sculpt mode, and we just go like really low, maybe try to replicate the density. It's actually it's a little bit higher, maybe like that. So kind of at the same level now. And then can we work this backwards now? If we do unsubdivide? No, you can't. Oh, that's not good. Can we do decimate unsubdivide? Oh, you can. So you can technically oh, it doesn't go lower though. It doesn't go past this point. And it's really messy. Okay. So the unsubdivide in multi-res doesn't work, so it won't work on the body. Another thing we could try, let's apply this so we just see what it looks like. And then another thing we try is, let's say we use quad remesher in this process. So again, we do multi-res, go up to 4 again, let's apply it, and then let's say we remeshed it. Oh, I gotta do this, remesh. So we're kind of, this is what the torso is right now, this topology. And then we say we're at 9,000, let's see. So remesh it. Oh, I'm not selecting anything. Oh, I am, okay. So it quad remeshed it for me. It's still really high. Now let's see if this is workable. It made a copy, so I have to delete it later. It's this one. But I'll just leave it for now. So now can we use the remesh? I mean multi-resolution on it? You can't. That's unfortunate. So I guess multi-res only works off of itself. Like if you added multi-res with multi-res, it would let you go back. That's interesting. So it's not as versatile as I thought it was. But I assume you could do this. So like what we're at 30,000. So if you subdivide it now, it's even higher. You can unsubdivide. Oh wait, no, that's. Well, anyways, let's delete this. And let's try the decimate thing and see how well that does. So decimate, let's unsubdivide and see where it goes. I guess 2 levels. 4, 6, 8. It goes up to 10, which is much, much better. But it still doesn't do a perfect job. Interesting. So unsubdivide does work. What does collapse do? Let's try like 0.2. Okay. But this technically keeps quads though. But you get something messy where it couldn't clean it up better. But everything's still automated, so it's still, for what it is, it's not bad, I guess. Um, but this is 1/10 of the triangle, so it's much easier to control. Now it's like 1/30th, I think. So if I'm okay with this, then this is a definitely possible way to go. I wish this didn't happen though, like this stuff. Hmm. Is that a deal breaker though for having this stuff? Hmm. I mean, it's better. So basically it'd be to, after you remeshed, you would do a quad remesh, and then you could do decimate and subdivide and get this. Let's apply it for a sec. And then add a multi-res on that. So this would be like going back up the levels and sculpting. Ooh, we get artifacting here though. Interesting. So that's a big issue. So that those artifacts are just not good at all. Everything else is fine though. I wonder if maybe in the settings. So let's try something real quick. So that's definitely a big issue. We can also test something really quick. So let's say we do other things and then we lose this. So we apply this multi-res. It's at 28.9. And then I could do multi-res and go back. Let's see if it works. So it does let you go back because it knows its math and it's able to go back from there, which is really cool. But oh, and I didn't hit apply, hit cancel, and it still applied this, which is okay in this case, but that's interesting too. Let's see. Maybe we can do something in the multi-res setting. Wait, in the quad settings. So let's apply this, and then let's go remesh. So we're back at the stage of the sculpt there. And then we want to get something better than this so this doesn't happen. Let's see. If we do, this one had adaptive. So maybe adaptive might be the issue. If I said, let's see, higher is smaller quads will be added. So if I put 0, so now it's going to be very evenly spaced. So this will be bad if I have like creased details. Essentially, just lose all those details. I guess maybe we could do a shrink wrap on top of this. Okay. Yeah, we could maybe do a shrink wrap, but we still have weird geometry and stuff. So again, if I do multi-res, this doesn't work. Yeah, but you could do decimate, unsubdivide, and go back here. Let's just go really far. Basically 9. But we get this kind of scarring, I guess. And it didn't help here when we put this to 0.5. It might have to do with the shape of it too. Maybe there's some play with it where based on what you're doing, you could raise or lower this, but maybe it's unavoidable that there is like a spot where it just gets weird. Hmm. Let me do one more thing. Let me try one more time. Trying to think. I guess like hand drawing topo would get past all of this, but that would take the longest. But use normal splitting, detect hard edges, use no. Let me try turning this off and then try one more time. Beat the process really quick here. Let's see, okay, and then let's try turning this off and then remesh it. Let's see what happens. So no adaptive and no adaptive quad count. So it's very evenly spread, but we still get um, these points, five-sided points and stuff. And then let's try to remesh. There might be a better way. Wait, why did I hit remesh? Oh, wait, that kind of makes me think. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Let's try. Yeah, let me think here. I think they're onto something using shrink wrap. Let me think. Let's try this one more time. Let's see if we can get some results. Yeah, so we get again the stitchings. So the other idea, so delete these. This approach didn't go as I thought it would. So the idea, let's make a example thing. So multi-res, just give it some resolution, just rounding it off. Apply that, and then we go into sculpt mode, and we go in here, sculpt it, and then let's say like we went in here, did a bunch of stuff. Maybe like that. The general goal is, allow us to be as free as possible when we sculpt, and then later we could have like multiple levels of detail and not have to worry about retopo by hand. That's the general goal. And then maybe have like this spot come up like this. I don't know what this is, but let's say it's this thing. We spent hours on this. It's perfect. Let's make a copy of it as a backup. And the idea was, let me actually copy it again. Actually, let me think here. So let's make a copy of it. Snap it back. Let's actually delete these hidden ones. Let me make sure I don't delete anything I need here. Yeah, I'll delete those. Okay. This is where we could have worked in a separate file and made sure not to delete anything, but we're kind of living on the edge here. But the idea was we would use quad remesher. And let's put this pretty high. Let's try 61%. I think that's like the golden mean number. So just for that reason, just do golden mean percentage. And then let's go pretty low. So this is pretty like the low poly. So we're not going to do any like unsubdivide or anything. This will be like the goal. So this is like this is giving us 30,000. So we have to go. So this will give us half. So that's 15 right there. I'll use adaptive quad count too. So kind of back to default what it was. And I'll hit Hit remesh. It finished. I'll delete the old one. It's like overlapping. Let's hide this for a sec. So that's the original. That's the original. This is original. This is the requadded. They're actually too close to each other. Like, let me see. It's actually more dense, isn't it? So that didn't. It's not good. A good example. 15. Oh, yeah, it's even higher. So that's not what I wanted. I need to go lower. So let's go like half that. It's like half that. So it's like 2500. And see what that does. So that finished real quick. But you can see it's like smoothing out there. It's still really high. Let's delete this one. So you can see before and after. So it loses some shape on the end. So we'll kind of use that as a benchmark to bring back that. Let's see. So the retopo will get shrink wrapped to, or shrink wrap to this guy. So this is without it, and this is with it. So it kind of pushes back out, gets the form back. Hmm. You get clean quads. This might not work though for shrink wrapping to the leg where it's intersecting itself, but it's a little bit better. What is this at? 5,000? Let's see what it looks like when I shade smooth both of them too. This one looks more jagged. Interesting. And it's 15 versus 1. So it's 1/15th of the polygons and it looks cleaner. And then from there we could add a subdivision on this. Let's make this shade flat again, just to see the faceted surfaces more, and then we could apply this shrink wrap. And then we could do multi-res here. And we can always go back from here too. And we could do like finer intricate details. So this method might work for me. Doing like a quad remesh at a lower resolution so we have more workability. I could easily go back to level 1. And then we have control of like the small verts. Yeah. Okay. What if I like did this so or working this and it's like, oh, it's so slow, it's so heavy, and then go back. Now it's much faster and more smooth. And then back up top. Smooth it out faster. What happens if I add like small details like little pickle bumps? And then if I go back to low and smooth it here, does it affect the high? Oh, it doesn't. That's kind of cool. Huh. so you don't lose like faceted details like skin pores or something. We're only at 46 too. So this approach might work. I'm trying to think. We will lose like faceted detail in the transfer to quad mesh though. Also, my idea of having the knee separate, is that okay? When we could walk through that example really quick actually. So let's start over. Feels a little laggy. Let me see what the settings are doing. That's fine. Okay. There's something that's like laggy though. I don't know what it is. So the idea was, this is the upper knee. I'm like kind of using up all my time on this test. I guess it's worth testing though, honestly. So let's say this is the knee, and then the lower knee. The cool thing is after, yeah, we would have full control over like both volumes, and it won't be a struggle. This is what I'm imagining. Let's see what it looks like the smooth preview. So the cool thing is I can adjust this exactly how I want, and then let's go and supply these. And then we can also we could do a sculpt remesh on it. And then again, go back in here. Ah, it's freezing. So you have like full control over the volume. Inflate, inflate the side. Grab it, squish it, smooth it. And maybe this side I want to squash up more. Grab this and pull it in more like that. So literally full control over this edge, because we could just have them separate. I think this is the way to go, honestly. Um, and we could kind of make this edge meet up more later, or however. Do we have to remesh it though? I'm trying to think here. Do we have to ultimately remesh to like combine them? Because we can stay in this mode forever. But the problem is we'll have this edge to deal with. Like, we like what's happening here, but then this edge has to go away. So I'm kind of having an issue there. Let's just try to smooth this out more. Getting lost in sculpting a little bit. But you get this kind of nice control there. So let's say it's like 1 right now. I have about 30 more minutes. We get this cool kind of shape there. We could even do this. We could hide the top one, for example, and then go in here, make it rounder. We could do this with face sets, honestly, too, so it's not out of the question. Yeah, we could technically do this with face sets, so that's the counter argument here. And it's already attached, so we don't have to worry about merging them. That's true. I could do that as the second example. So right now we're just exploring it, feeling it out, and then we'll try face sets as the next test. So, okay, that's really cool. Bring back that guy, and then we can go in here. Oops, I hit the wrong button. And then we could like do the same thing on this guy, clean this up. But let's say overall we're happy with it. So now we're faced with the issue of wanting to merge them together right here. So what do I have to do? Oh, you know what? That's a problem. Because I need these to be 1. But the problem is if I remesh, these become 1, which is good. But then the bad thing is this all becomes 1 too. Oh, that's horrible. Hmm. I could force them together in that one spot and then remesh from there, which is a horrible, tedious thing to do. But it technically would work. Okay, so we found a big flaw in this method, especially for this use case where this whole section is overlapping. So I guess my thing would be like this. So you have to do, let's go to this mode, and then let's say like, okay, well the leg's going to intersect here. Delete those faces, and then this side. Oh, why is that selected like that? That's weird. And then this side connects over here, and then quad remesher will basically stay loyal to this mesh. So we actually don't remesh, we just do quad remesher. And then I would bridge holes. Yeah, so what I would do is bring these together. If this was the actual one, I probably wouldn't separate it like that. Why is it important to keep them separate though? So many things happening. It's so confusing. Um, yeah, I think this is the way to go though. So right now, um, I think having it all one piece works out better right now. So let's see. Maybe we make this hole bigger actually, I'm not sure. Let's see, I want to go inside this. Let's combine these. Why doesn't it let me go inside? Oh, you know what? I gotta turn off orbit around selection. Now we can go inside. Yeah, there you go. And then, oh, I can't see back faces though. Okay, here we go. Let me see. Let's select based on non-manifold. So it selects these guys. Goes, yeah, let's go transparent mode. I need these to bridge. Let's see what happens if I do that. Bridge edge loops. Perfect. It worked. Okay, so now I need quad remesher to do the heavy lifting and see what happens. So the goal is to make it pretty low res. We'll call this one leg. And let's go to quad remesher. Let's go even lower just to kind of see what the limits are. Let's try 1500. remesh. That's really clean. It seemed to keep a lot of the subdivs there, and it kept this separate, which is good. It remeshed the front side, which is what we wanted. So this technically works. This inside's really messy though, and it doesn't make sense. Let's hide that for a sec. And ooh, you know what? Let's see what happened there. Why is this like that? Oh, we probably have to smooth it until it actually shows on the front. What a horrible headache that is. But technically, let's see if we do if we actually go through with this and make this straighter. What's this? What is this? Let's see if the face normals are correct on this. Am I crashing? What's happening? Okay, we're good. What is that? I don't understand what's happening there. Confusing. Oof, what is that? Oh my god. It might be because I told it to retain the adaptive geometry there. So maybe in this case we didn't want that. Let's bring this forward a little bit. What if we like remeshed it, quad remeshed it now? I wonder. God, this looks so horrible. Okay. Yeah, but technically, yeah, there is an inner knee there. So I think the way we booleaned them together kind of was bad too, but how much time we have? It's 1:10, so we have about 20 minutes. Yeah, the adaptive geometry there is kind of bad in our case. So this is a really bad method. I don't like it at all. Let's replicate the other one. So delete that. So the other approach, so we were thinking about separating the leg and then putting them together like that. There's like a headache. Having it remeshed correctly, so I'll leave this on the side just as a reference. The other idea, which is what we're doing now, is basically this. And it looks pretty bad, but it's essentially this. And then it's like bent in on itself like this. Because of how we didn't really clean up the weights, and it would be cool that we had like a double-sided knee joint, but I don't really know how it could do that. But it's essentially like this. It's like squashing on itself, and it's like not correctly correctly uh, bending. All the forms are not the correct squash and stuff. Let's see what it looks like with a subdiv on it. Yeah, this is essentially what we have happening. Let's apply the subdivision. So the problem we're facing is it's really, really high res. So we could go in like, since we have it in there. And the biggest thing is this front is all merge as one. Oh, you know what? We want this more of this. Maybe some more muscle mass there, there, I think then we could use face sets. So face sets would be like this. If you go edit mode, um, select the bottom here, and then we'll just add a selection, and then so it's like these faces I want to be lower leg. I'll go back to scope mode, and I'll say face sets from edit mode. So this lower section is separate. I could mask that, bring it back, and then I could now work on the only the lower leg essentially. So this process works. And then flip it, and then sculpt this side only. Maybe this side's going in too far, so I'm gonna pull it down. So far, this approach is working out better. And maybe we want to move this whole leg down. We can go to, what is that? Transform. Can I move this? Oh, I can't. Can I do... What am I doing? Oh, object mode. And then I go origins. Oh, why is it rotated? This was not rotated. Ah, whatever. But I could do this, and I could adjust the lower leg essentially. So it's almost like a separate object, but it's not. And then back to grab mode. Let me pull this stuff in a bit. That cool. So that's generally what I was thinking. Do it as much as you can, but then you're like, what? I kind of want to have like multi-res again. I mean, I want to have yeah, I want to have multi-res, and this is too high. Like this example's kind of bad because this already is pretty low. But let's say we wanted to go lower. You're like, we did all the sculpting we can. You want to go lower. We would then, I guess for the example's sake, we could go up higher. So like, let's say it was like this dense, the geometry. So in our example, it's like this dense, and it's like, oh man, it's so hard to work. It's like really, it's really high. Oh, that's cool. It keeps the face sets though. But it's like, oh, it's so high. I'm getting like all these like it's just hard to control. I'm getting like bumpiness because it's like too high resolution. So we're like, we really need to go back down levels, but we don't have levels. So what we could do is, it's kind of cheating, but we could probably do, we do this. Oh, you can. Oh, so multi-res takes subdivisions and itself. So I guess it's using subdivision math. So this does work here. But um, but I don't want to do that. Let's say like the mesh is remesh meshed. That's so confusing. But let's say it's not clean quads. It's like retopo mesh. So let me add that example back. That's really heavy. Where is it? Where is it? So it's really dense. I applied, so it's like really heavy, and it's like hard to work, and it's not quads. So then at that point we could do quad remesher, and let's say remesh. Ooh, that's weird. What happened there? Let's look at the geometry. Little pinching there, but it's not too bad. But this would be lower, it's at 3000, and then the other one is 23,000. So it's better in there. But let's say, so if I go sculpt mode, this doesn't have the face sets anymore, right? Yeah. So the face set's gone, which makes sense as a different model. So that'd be kind of funny if it came over, or no, it can't come over. It's a new model. So maybe you can copy them, but I feel like that's getting a little obsessive. But um, you could always redefine them again like this. You could just, but yeah, let's just redefine it real quick. Why not? So edit mode. Ooh, it's slow. Select the back over here, and then increase selection. This would be the lower leg. Yeah, that's pretty good. Then I'm gonna say back to sculpt mode. Face set from the edit mode. So now if I hide that, mask, unhide, you can kind of edit this again. I probably should have gone a little bit further for this area, but let's say we can sculpt it, so it's a bit easier to work than the high res. Flip it, inflate this. This, I don't like what's happening there. But yeah, it's much more influenced by the brushes. Potentially that's bad right there though. Hmm. It added extra geometry around here. Hmm. Maybe we turn off adaptive quad count. Let's try it again. Let's try generating it one more time. We got about 20 minutes before we gotta go. So let's try quad remeshing with this turned off and see if we can get some better results. What's happening on this one? This one feels weird. Why is it being pulled down? Anyways, let's see what this count is. So 2K, 2.5 versus, so it's like 1/10 almost. Um, and we could add multi-res and everything from that point. Something else interesting is this has more of what the real geometry is doing, but it's just an example. It is kind of unfair. We built it really ideally, so, but this geometry has, the flow is not really what a knee hat like does, so that could be odd. Hmm. I think that means like doing quad remesher before deforming it would make the most sense. And then the geometry would flow. Yeah, I think that's the way actually to go. So I think quad remeshing at this point is too late because it's adding all this geometry here that doesn't actually make sense for the shape. That I think that just makes so much sense. So quad remesher has to happen on the base, I think, before the pose. Um, I think that's how it's supposed to go. And then um, one more thing though before I delete this, I want to see if I could shrink wrap it and see if it gets slightly more interesting results. So let's go shrink wrap. I'm gonna select the leg. I think it's called cube 2. Yeah, and see if the results change at all. Nope, it doesn't change. So I think quad remesher is already doing this, so we're not really seeing any difference at all. Unless it's lagging. Let me see. No, okay, yeah, it's already doing this. So that was like an interesting epiphany I think doing quad remesher here is too late. Unless, let me see something. So we could do multi-res, subdivide. And then what if we sculpted at this point? So I guess if you add enough geometry, then the flow doesn't kind of matter anymore. So technically, maybe you can still do it here. Maybe make this weaker. But then it's like super smooth. What are we at? 20,000. Um, what's the lowest res, by the way? The lowest res is this. Okay. Let's go back up here. Let's go up to, I think it's at 126 now, which is pretty high. That looks so bizarre. Um, but generally, so that's kind of quadrimesh after pose, which I think doesn't work. So let's delete this. Let's bring back this guy. So this one technically has the geometry flowing correctly. So if I make a copy and I sculpt it, and then this is just me feeling it out to see like when I do something if it deforms as I would hope it to deform. Like a feeling test. And I guess how it looks also. We're at 11K, so it's lower than that other one. We're gonna do one more test after this, and then we have to go, I think. But the general idea is I think this is idealized geometry, like the way it's supposed to be. Let's see if I can shrink that mask. The brush settings are not ideal too. I could adjust them, but I kind of don't want to right now. But just to get that kind of muscle mask crease thing happening. Let's see, let's switch this to this. Grab, right. Seeing how it deforms, and you could add like a multi-res. Big helicopter. But generally, I guess kind of excited because we're kind of getting closer to actually sculpting a pose. All the technical stuff is probably gonna be on. It's like we're past the technical stuff, so it's like all like how does it make me feel? So that's us testing it. It just feels easier to work with the topology flow. So we'll make a copy of that as well. Just put that here. It looks like the alien head, but it has a multi-res now, which is like whatever, it's okay. I could apply it and then we lose. I think the base 0 level gets deformed, but in most cases I don't think I need it. But yeah, so that was test one, test two, and then test three was essentially before we pose it with the rig, it would be like it'd be like this. So let's go front view. Essentially just make like a leg. And then I probably could have started with this cylinder. We got like 10 minutes. We gotta speed run this. I keep saying when I start the pose, and we never start the pose. It's kind of like irritating. Okay, so let's add a subdivision. You can also add multi-res. Let's try that. Am I lagging? No. Okay. So that's like the upper leg up there. That's the lower leg. Let's squash this side. Divide that. And then the bottom has more. So that's like our leg. And then let's go one more subdivide. Let's apply this. And then let's say like we were sculpting and we did this freehand. So it's like this. So it's obviously like horribly messy. Oh no, it's horribly messy. And then sneeze in the way. Let's actually isolate this. And it's like, oh, we got all this cool detail. I spent hours sculpting this. Making this like rounder, softer, smaller, like that. Smaller. So we spent hours on this, making it perfect. Okay, so now that's our example leg. And then the idea was you would do quadrimesher before posing. So you would get clean geometry. Where is it? Quadrimesher. But I think you would lose finite detail with this process. So if I did like skin pore detail, this would make me lose it all. Unless I did a multi-res and I projected the multi-res, then it probably would keep the detail, but then I don't know how. I think the rig would lag if I had a multi-res on it. So that could be a potential test. Because if it lags so much I couldn't pose it, then it's kind of pointless. Let's test this out though. I don't really have the time, so potentially um that's another pathway to take, but I don't know. So let's say this time we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna have a multi-res. So anyways, we did all this work, made this perfect as we wanted, and then we do a remesh. We get clean quads, we get lower density, so this is like totally workable. You can see we went down from 11 to 3, and then we would, we're gonna do it by hand, but the idea is this would be rigged with rigify, and then we would um, just pose it with the rig. Oh, wait, that's not the right button. Looking for transform, yeah. Um, let's see, object mode, tool, origins, and we're just gonna move this to the knee. Back to sculpt, and then this is what the rig was basically doing for us. Ooh, why does it do that? Why does it like snap like that? That's weird. It like snaps after the fact. That is bizarre. It's like averaging it out or something. That's weird. But we still get pretty crummy results. It's almost like slightly better than doing using a rig. But let's say we're really happy with that. So we got as far as we could there. Let me turn this off. Let's go to sculpt mode. Grab, and then smooth. Bring geometry over. So we can't remesh at this point. We would just go in, clean this up as best as we could. And again, we'll just make a face set. This is the lower leg face set. Generally speaking, like that. And then back to sculpt mode. That is set from edit mode, so now we could hide that, mask that, and hide. Oh, I thought it crashed. But I can kind of clean this up more. And we can't remesh at this point. I'm gonna use slide relax, bring more geometry closer to the end here. I'm thinking if I should smooth the groups, but it might be fine. We'll just work with a hard edge, I think. And then try our best to match it up and clean it up. And flip it, smooth it, inflate it. This is all with the mouse. Something like that. So it actually gave us really clean results, which is cool. I'll say like a conclusion at the end of the video so that way we kind of like go over a summary. We're kind of leading into our overtime, so I have to go like in 4 minutes, but okay, so we didn't spend too much time. We got pretty cool results. Actually, I might do this. I might bring this down more. It's not perfect, but oops, it's a little better. This was like doing wonders right now. Slide relax, bringing all that geometry where I need it. But so let's say geometry is kind of still low, not a lot of detail. Oh hey Lamp, I was doing a bunch of tests, so I wanted to see what's the best way to like keep multi-res, but I think this is the best way so far. Yeah, so like the geometry, so I did a quad remesh before posing, and then it deforms the leg with all the geometry going the right way. So quadri meshing after the pose just doesn't look right. It has like it makes this section boxy, and this one has it more naturally deformed, so it's like I think it works better. So quadri meshing after doesn't work, I think. I have to go pretty soon, but I'll like mention what I learned so far. And I'll show you the all the tests. So this is the way to go, I think. Oh, that's my timer. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, nice. You got the snowflake working? That's good. Let me see. So these are the different tests for bending the leg. So the first one was I had the idea. Wait, it's frozen. No, don't freeze. No, don't freeze. Okay, it didn't freeze. So the idea was maybe if I had the thigh and the lower leg separate, it would be easier to work with because then I can like grab the volume separately and move them all I want. But the problem was when it came down to merging them, I would have to do like a remesh modifier, and the problem is like this area was also touching. So if I remeshed it, they would all become one part. So the form when you sculpt becomes like really hard to control, and when you smooth, like the details get meshed together, which is bad. So that kind of didn't work. So then I thought, what if I like have the leg as one piece, which worked out really nicely. And then, wait, is this the quad remesh? I think, yeah, I think this was the quad remeshed one. Wait, what am I clicking? What is this? Oh, it's this one. Yeah. Um, this was like this was with the leg as one piece, and then doing a quad remesh after. But the problem was all the tension in the geometry was gone because it would just treat this as the quad remesh, so it became like really boxy in the front. I guess you could technically do this, but the problem was like this flow of the geometry didn't have like the tension anymore. So like this pinching didn't happen anymore because the quad remesh basically just made this the default pose. So that what I found to be best so far was I would I would sculpt however I want. So like it would be like this geometry, Dino Topo, Retopo, Remesh sculpt, basically. And you could do whatever you want. And then you would run the quad remesher when it was still in A pose. And then the quad remesher would make it all clean. And then you could add the you could then pose it after it was quad remeshed. So now it has all the tension in there. So like this pinching tension. So when I like smooth that area, the pinch stays there and it all the geometry flows with the pinch, which is like really kind of gives you that feel. Versus over here, if I like smooth it, it's kind of hard to tell. It kind of I don't know, like it doesn't feel I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't feel like you can't. It's hard to control. Like it doesn't feel right. But this one it's lower too. I think this one is 94K, and then this one is 12. So I'm getting the same results, and it's like a fraction of the size, and it looks slightly better and it's easier to control. So generally, to summarize, you sculpt it like an A pose just the way you want. You run quad remesher in A pose, and then after all that, you pose it, and then you could add multi-res after and do more detail stuff. But that was the general workflow. It's kind of like, sorry, I kind of went on a ramble. Is it hard to make mesh pillows? No, I don't think so. There's actually like there's a couple tutorials online like people do it with like I think they use this class simulation, and they do I think they use inflate, I think it's called. It's something where it kind of it puffs up, so essentially becomes like a puffy pillow. And then you just run the simulation for a little bit, and then it puffs up, and then you just let it settle. And that's a pillow. A lot of people make the mistake of making it really, really, really heavy and high res because they think more resolution is like softer, and it kind of is. It adds details with the wrinkles, but people always think like that needs to be a part of it, and they make it so heavy. And um, you'll see in like in games like 100,000 triangle pillow. I think another thing you do is though like you could bake it down so you could have like a low res and then bake down um the detail as a normal, and it could be like really low. I don't know exactly where the hotkeys are for the inflate, but yeah, I'm gonna cut it short today because I have to go. But thanks for popping in though. And if you can, I don't know how the best way would be, but if you could like if you post it on like Instagram or something or some other way of like sharing a screenshot, I'd like to see. But have a good one. I'll be back.